The season of failure is the best time for sowing the seeds of success.
Good morning. Hammond here with today's reflection. Yogananda wrote, "The season of failure is the best time for sowing the seeds of success." This comes from his autobiography of a yogi, which many of you have read. And today I want to sit with the question, what failure might actually be preparing the ground for something better? Wasn't speaking metaphorically when he used agricultural language. He understood something farmers have always known. You don't plant seeds in summer when everything's already growing. You plant in the fallow season when the ground looks dead, when nothing seems to be happening. Failure does the same thing to us. It breaks up the hardened soil of our assumptions. It clears away what's working, what's not working. And if we're paying attention, it creates space for something new to take root. But here's what's interesting. We almost never see this while we're in it. Yeah. When we're falling apart, when we just feel like we're failing. The preparation part, that only makes sense looking backwards. And I'm sure you've experienced that in your life. I know I have for sure. Now, I've been thinking about this today a lot. I spent 27 days building a content presence across TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and Substack. I hit over 1,200 followers on TikTok, and when I got there, my first instinct was to monetize, time to see some ROI. Classic success thinking, right? Build the audience and extract value from it. But something stopped me. I realized the approach, the paywalls, the exclusive content, the sales funnels, that wasn't failure. That was just misalignment. It would work probably, but it would kill what I'm actually trying to build here. You know, Sam Harris is one of my mentors, and he has an excellent app, Waking Up. And when you join, when you subscribe, if you cannot afford it, he generously gives you free access. You just have to, you know, renew every year. And as your situation changes, you can change the model, give what you can. Um, so that's kind of what I chose. It's a little different. It's called the model. Give everything freely. Accept support if people are moved to give it. No gates, no tactics, just offering what I have freely. Now, here's the thing. I can't tell you yet if this is going to be a success or a failure in traditional terms. My financial timeline just stretched out. My business plan got a lot less certain. And that's okay. I'm not in this for the money. By conventional metrics, this might look I'm failing at entrepreneurship. I've done that before. I can do it again. But Yogananda's words hit differently. When you realize that standing in uncertainty, what if this apparent failure to monetize aggressively is actually preparing the ground for something better? What if choosing authenticity over tactics is the seed that needs this particular season to grow? This just isn't just about me and content creation. The pattern shows up everywhere. The job you lost forced you into a career you actually wanted. The relationship that ended and cleared space for you to figure out who you actually are. The business that failed and taught you what you needed to know for the next one. That's how it works. But it's hard sometimes. We spend so much time and energy trying to avoid failure, trying to optimize for continuous improvement and success. But that's not how growth works. Not in nature, not in agriculture, and not in human development. Sometimes the ground needs to be broken. Mm-hmm. Sometimes things need to fall apart. Sometimes you need a season of failure before you can plant anything worth growing. Question is how do I avoid failure, but what is this failure preparing me for? Here's why I'm sitting with you with this today. Here's what I'm sitting with today, and I invite you to sit with it too. What failure are you in right now? Not past failure you've already made sense of. I mean current failure, the thing that feels like it's not working, the place where you're falling short of your own expectations. What if that's not the end of something? What if it's the fallow season? What if the ground is being prepared right now and you just can't see what's going to grow yet? Now, I'm not saying failure doesn't hurt. It does. I'm not saying you shouldn't learn from it. Of course you should. Maybe, just maybe, you're in planting season and you don't even know it yet. Yogananda, the quote, "The season of failure is the best time for sowing the seeds of success." What failure might actually be preparing the ground for something better? Sit with that today. I'm Ward Hammond. Everything I create is freely shared. If this resonates with you, you can support me at ko-fi.com/Ward Hammond. Thanks for being here.